Hey, I am here with my amazing client Jason, who just landed his job and completely really reinvented himself and his career very quickly in the matter of 90 days or less. I believe it was a little less, but just wanted to share his story because I know there's a lot of people out there changing careers that really feel overwhelmed. So Jason, would you love to just share like when you and I met, where were you at with your career, your job search, everything?
Sure. So I think when we by the time we had our first conversation, um, I was really stuck at my job trying to look for the way forward, and I just wasn't seeing it. I kind of the role that I was in was very much like what I would call a gap filler. So I would be kind of shifted around and do different things and cover different things and fill all these different gaps. And it's really tough to, when you've got so much going on, kind of really see your value and see what you know exactly where your talents lie and where your strengths lie and that kind of stuff. So in terms of looking for jobs, like when you go to the job boards, like you'd fit 50, 60% of things, 50, 60% of things. And that immediately kind of like gets you discouraged, right? Because you start thinking like, I don't have these skills, I don't have that skills, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. Right. And so you're hesitant to pull the trigger, or you do just do like the spray and pray approach where like one day you'll just like get really motivated and you'll send out like 30 applications and you won't hear from anybody, and that you just get defeated. And meanwhile you're kind of stuck in the ceiling at this other job and you're not quite sure where you fit in and what your value is. And so it's really, you start this sort of spiral of really kind of doubting yourself and your capabilities and really that you're wanted out there, that what you do matters, and what you do is something that's really wanted out there that people are looking for.
Yeah, really quick, I want to talk about this because for you specifically, you'd been in one industry for so long. I think it was what, a decade or more. And when
Yep,
you've been
yep.
in, that's all
Just
you knew, right? Your whole environment was always one track. There wasn't people breaking out of that mold. So you not only were having to overcome the hurdles of the job search that you just described, but then your environment didn't demonstrate any path. So you were limited. And that was what you and I would say 80% of this was mindset for you. So I would
mhm.
love to share like what were the biggest shifts you had to really break through?
Sure. So my biggest shifts were, I think in going through the program, there's definitely like an evolution. There were like little things that you kind of picked up on and that really helped me see things in a different way. So like my evolution started with, because I'm that person where, where you like to try to control all these things and control all variables. And when things don't go exactly either as you envision it or whatnot, you tend to get emotional and you tend to poke at things, or, you start trying to hit everything with a hammer. And that's just not the way to do things, right? Just that's the first thing right there. And you start getting mad at yourself and blaming yourself because you didn't control enough. And that was the toughest part. And so a large part of my journey and a large part of what I got was, listen, you got to like let go of white knuckling it. If you are going to be a leader, you have to, you can't force people to do anything. Like you have to, influences, I guess is like the key word. And you can't do that if you're combative with people. And so that was like the really biggest, like first step there. And so I started, I think it was in one of the early modules, you said, well, ask yourself the question, what would it take for you to let go of that belief? Right. And that question sort of evolved into, rather than reacting, be like, okay, why am I having such a strong reaction to this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Right. And so you being the type A driven personality that I am, I'm really driving. I'm really like go, 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 go. And you almost had to like take one step back to be able to take four steps forward. So you had to slow down and really sort of analyze what you're bringing to the table, not from a skill perspective, but from like an energy and a
Yes.
mindset perspective, right?
I'm so
That's,
glad you said energy because this
yep.
is what I would say 99% of career coaches aren't going to talk about this, but at the six, you not only broke it's these are six-figure huge increase in pay plus new industry.
Mhm.
This was all energy because you never would have even seen outside of your environment if you didn't start to change your thought patterns and break through. People don't realize this is 80% mindset and energy. So if you're talking to someone right now as we wrap up that was like you and feels like they're stuck in one company, one industry, they just don't see a way out, what advice would you give to them right now? Besides talking to me. I'm just joking.
I would say that the biggest things for me was um the like get your mind right, and it doesn't take much. It takes small little things, small little steps. For me, it's starting out the day right and wrapping up the day right. So it was like the gratitude journal. Just spend 5-10 minutes and be thankful for the things that you've got. We all tend to overlook the little things, be it a relationship, a friendship, a, you know, family, that kind of thing. We all tend to overlook those things. And when you start getting in that gratitude journal, you start finding things to be grateful for. And so then you kind of start your day out right. And then at the end of the day, we've all had those disaster days, right? So just write down the things that did go well. Something went well, and to me, it's like you're training your mind to find those things that work for you. And so that was the biggest thing for me, like right there. And don't be afraid as you go through the program. Don't be afraid of the reach outs. More people are trying to connect than you realize, and because
Yes.
it's almost like I kind of joke. It's almost like an eighth grade dance. Like everybody's just like, yeah, the boys on one side, the girls on the other. They're just staring at each other. Like somebody's afraid to make the first move, but everybody wants to make the first move. So just reach out. And you know what? People are either going to say, yep, I've got time. And everybody's got time for a quick 10 minutes call to kind of find out what you're about. And then, stick with that Maya Angelou quote, the people will forget what you said, forget what you did. So always remember how you make them feel. So just leave, even if the conversation doesn't go well, leave them feeling good. Just
I
leave them
love
feeling
it.
good. Yep.
You crushed it on this. I just want to seriously congratulate you. I know how much work you put in to make this happen. Just celebrate it and congrats again.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for taking me through this. It was definitely life changing on a lot of levels. So I
Thank
can't
you.
thank you enough.